So we're here today to talk a little bit about local business growth. Joining me is Rick Wiest from Thompson Creek Window Company. Rick, thanks for coming in.
Good morning, Rachel.
So in 2011, President Barack Obama came out to Thompson Creek Window Company to tour your facility and use you guys as an example for successful growth in what was then a troubled economic time period. And you guys have continued to grow over the years. Talk to us a little bit about how you have evolved as a successful local business, and maybe offer some tips for some future entrepreneurs out there and any bits of advice that you can share with them.
Sure. Well, the advice is that we're in changing times and things are changing quickly. Businesses have to be able to adapt. Charles Darwin has a quote that I'm fond of. It's not the strongest of the species nor the most intelligent that survive, but the one best able to adapt. So I think about that often. Thompson Creek started in 1980 as a vinyl window manufacturer, one of the first vinyl window manufacturers out there. With the energy crisis of the 70s, created gas lines, and for the first time, homeowners across the country were talking about energy efficiency at the kitchen table. And my dad happened to be in the component part to sales to window companies at the time. Most windows were aluminum back then. He saw this new vinyl technology and he said, I got an idea. We're going to get into the window baking business.
Wow.
So that was the entrepreneurial spirit that started the company. But back in the day, we made windows and we sold them to home improvement contractors and to lumber yards and to distributors, others. And we did that for, till almost the year 2000. And in the year 2000, I had taken over the company. I got out of college, and I noticed that the competition was fierce, and vinyl windows were becoming a commodity. And I had an experience with one of my customers, a homeowner that had bought windows from one of my customers, a home improvement contractor, and turns out he hadn't finished the job, and he wasn't returning her phone calls, and she couldn't track him down and was calling me for help. And I realized I hadn't heard from this guy in a while either, so I wasn't sure where he was, but we agreed to give her a hand getting her window installation finished. And it occurred to me at that moment, there's a better way for us to take our product to market. And this was one of the big changes that we made. I sent letters to all of our customers at the time, and I said, we're only going to be able to supply you for another 90 days, and we're going to go directly to the consumer, take our product right to the homeowner. Wow. There's where the value lies. So that was a big change for our business, and proved to be a good change because business grew. Our customers and the marketplace understood the value of buying direct from the factory and that single point of accountability. And we went from about $2 million in sales to about $30 million in sales by the time the president showed up in 2011. Wow. And they came to Thompson Creek because we were growing in a time things were kind of tough. There were some tax policies that the government had put in place, a $1,500 tax credit for consumers that bought energy efficient windows that our window qualified for. Right. So that helped quite a bit. And they came and told their story. WTOP was there that day.
Hey.
It was a good event.
Wonderful. And now your headquarters in Annapolis. So there you guys make the windows. I know you talked a little bit earlier about you have your own engineers. Walk us through what it looks like out at Thompson Creek.
Sure. Well, we started in Annapolis.
Okay.
We moved over to Kent Island, which is where we became Thompson Creek. That was the transition when we started to move away from being a business-to-business sales company to a business straight to the consumer.
Okay.
Since that time that the president came in 2011, we had just moved into a new window factory over on Bright Seat Road, right in Lanham, Maryland.
Okay.
But since then, we've outgrown that facility. And in just last year, we built a new manufacturing facility and moved into that. We're down on Pennsylvania Avenue, ironically.
Wow. Okay.
Right on Route 4 near Andrews Air Force Base.
Okay.
So it's funny to sit in the conference room there and see Air Force One take off over the runway, and we look at it right through our window. And
hopefully you have some of that soundproofing windows in the building, right?
we had to do a lot of soundproofing in that building.
I can imagine.
Those jets take off, it's something. And just this year, we moved into our new sales and marketing offices. So we continue to grow, and we continue to keep hiring here in the DMV. And in addition to the presidential visit in 2011, Governor Hogan of Maryland was at our groundbreaking ceremony for the new window factory. We are on Anthony Brown, our congressman's business advisory council.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Rashawn Baker's been a visitor. He's our county executive now and a candidate for governor, as well as Senator Ben Cardin.
Wonderful. So you guys are like the bright and shiny example for a successful business in Maryland, huh?
Well, we're happy to have them come by and to get the attention.
Great.
I think they like to hear our story.
You mentioned earlier that your company decided to stop going from business to business and you switched directly from business to consumer. What does this mean in the long run from not necessarily your business side, but the consumer side? What did that do for homeowners in the area?
Well, the value comes from the fact that we design, build, and install, so a single point of accountability without any intermediaries, without any middlemen. Mm-hmm. And by contrast, the way that the window business is set up, most of these big manufacturers in Ohio and out in the Midwest sell their windows through distributors who then sell them to contractors. So the window gets trucked across the country and marked up several times before it finally gets into the homeowner's wall. Most people aren't really aware of the supply chain and how that works. But when you deal with factory direct, we're able to pass the value directly to the homeowner by eliminating all those intermediaries.
Wonderful. Well, what started as a family business is now obviously a large business and a thriving business in our area. What sort of advice do you offer for entrepreneurs out there, no matter what they're looking to get into?
Yeah, well, I think that story of adapting and seeing opportunities and being able to pivot to take advantage of them is extremely important. Mm-hmm. There have been a lot of changes that we've seen over the years just in our business, and we've had to make changes to the way that we do business. But if you're not nimble enough to react, you're probably not going to be around too long, and I think that happens far too often.
Great. Well, Rick Weiss from Thompson Creek Window Company, thank you so much.
Thank you.